Today we're solving quadratic equations. We're going to solve these ones by factoring. Couple of examples here to get us warmed up. They're already factored, so the hard work's done. Now we just got to pull out solutions. Now, technically, we take each part. We have two sets of parentheses, so that means we have two sets of answers coming out, or two different answers coming out. Technically, what we're doing is we're taking each part, we're setting it equal to 0, and solving that little mini equation. Our first answer is x equals -3. Now, we hopefully know that we don't need to do all that work. We just take the opposite sign. Think about what you would plug into x to make x minus 4 0. Well, it would be a +4. There's our other solution. A little bit harder when we have an actual number in front of the parentheses or in front of the x. So just showing this again, we're technically solving that mini equation. So we divide by 2, x equals -5/2, which is perfect, exactly what we need. Now, there's a little shortcut that I use. I go opposite sign, right number, over the left number. Opposite sign gives us a negative. Right number is the 5. Over the left number is 2. -5/2 is what we get. We show that little trick with the second one. Opposite sign of a negative is a plus, so I'm not going to write that. Right number 4 over the left number 3, so +4/3 would be your other answer. We're going to be utilizing those techniques in these 4 factoring examples that I have. Last week we looked at all the factoring techniques. The first thing I asked you guys to look for in every single problem was a GCF. We're going to have plenty of those today. First problem. I have a GCF of 2x. I'm left with a 3x minus 5 when that comes out. I look to see if I can continue factoring. I cannot. So now I'm pulling out solutions. I have two different parts here. The 3x minus 5 is what we talked about in the last slide. That gives us an answer of 5/3. Now, 2x. Get thrown off sometimes. 2 times what gets you 0? Well, 2 times 0 is just 0. Whenever you have just a solo variable, whether it's squared, cubed, to the 4th power, or just x, that answer is going to be 0. We're going to see that a few more times here. We have a GCF here. Happens to be 3x. We have x squared minus 12x plus 27 left over. We check to see if we can continue factoring. It looks like we can inside here. We go 3x, open up 2 sets of parentheses for ourselves, split up the x's because there's no a out front. What factors of 27 add up to -12? Well, we have -9, -3. That is factored. We take a little baby step more, pull out our solutions. 3x gives us 0. X minus 9 gives us +9. X minus 3 gives us +3. And those are my 3 solutions. Next, I'm actually going to switch this. I had a little typo. I'm going to make that a cube. So 3x cubed minus 27x, GCF again. Take out a 3x, we're left with an x squared minus 9 equals 0. We look inside there. We have 2 terms. That means we should be looking for difference of squares. We have subtraction and we have perfect squares. We can continue factoring. X minus 3, x plus 3 with that GCF still out front. Now we pull out solutions. X equals 0 there, +3 with the middle, -3 with the last one here. There's our 3 solutions. Last factoring example here. Last technique as well. Now, each of the last 3 problems has had everything on the same side. We need to go ahead and move everything to the left side. So we have 2x squared plus 11x eventually plus 5. You cannot factor until everything's on the same side. Check for a GCF. No go on this one. So we use the AC method. 2 times 5 is 10. Factors of 10 that add up to 11 are 1 and 10. So we begin the process. 2x squared plus 1x plus 10x plus 5. If you're still having trouble with the AC method, make sure you look at last week's video. Group them. First set only has an x in common. So we take out a 2, or take out an x, we're left with a 2x plus 1. Kind of cheat a little bit, we're going to be left with a 2x plus 1 here again. We need to take out a 5 to make that happen. We finish the factoring. 2x plus 1 is in common. X plus 5 is left over. Pull out our solutions. Opposite sign, right over left. So negative 1/2 and then negative 5. And there's solving quadratic equations by factoring.